Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Megan.
I'm Joel.
Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Tracy.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Welcome back, everybody. It is so nice to have you. We are dealing with another gloomy, rainy day here in Pennsylvania. And to prevent all of our bins from splitting and from our pumpkins starting to rot, we have everything covered up with plastic. And what we don't have covered with plastic, we tried to put on the porch, like our straw, our corn stalks, and some other pumpkins.
He has it all crooked. Everything's turned to the left. I don't know why we have machines when I gotta do it by hand.
It's just how it happens, man.
You saying I can get a little closer? Whoa! Pick it up a little bit.
To start off this video, we're gonna work on harvesting some more pumpkins. Now we're planning on just getting a full wagon, so we'll have 5 bins of pumpkins that we're gonna be harvesting. So how do you feel about all this wet and rainy weather?
I don't like it. We got lots of work to do and I don't like getting wet.
As fall time approaches, one thing we do not need is more rain, and that seems to be the only thing that we're getting. We're not getting too many bright and sunny days, but right now that's okay. Towards the end of the year, disease is a bigger problem than at the beginning of the year. And when everything is wet and when we deal with more moisture, that's where we run into problems. So we're hoping things are gonna start drying out shortly. We need the sun to come out. It's so cloudy. We just need the sun. I needed my trimmers. Joel, I don't wanna say anything. For the longest time, people didn't believe that you had horses in the comments, and now they don't believe that you have miniature donkeys.
People believe what they want to believe. But they exist.
We're all set and ready to go. Now we just need people to harvest. Well, we found one of them. What are you doing over here? I'm working on equipment.
This is what happened when you don't pick up nails around the farm.
I mean, we're still gonna use this nail because it's straight, so I'm just gonna put it over here, but this is a big problem. We just put a plug in the skid steer tire for now. That should take care of it. If we keep having problems, we might end up having to get a new tire, but those plugs usually hold pretty good. We are out to the pumpkin field and it smells like pumpkins. I don't know what a kettlebell is, but it's gotta be something like this.
All right, Brian, calm down.
Now, when I said we were going to be harvesting pumpkins, we had a lot that were already cut. So we're also picking up all of those pumpkins that were previously cut. When we had started harvesting pumpkins this year, the plants were so healthy and everything had so much foliage covering the top that a lot of the pumpkins we did see in the field, they weren't ready to harvest yet. So we're making our way back through the field, harvesting all of the orange pumpkins that had turned from the green. This is what we are talking about. See how this one was hidden under all of those leaves? There we go. Beautiful. So at this moment, we're driving along the top of the pumpkin field. We've already got a few bins of pumpkins harvested, but now we're looking for something called a lunch lady. Now these pumpkins are called a lunch lady, and the reason why they're called lunch ladies is because they used to look like your old lunch lady. Now the thing about lunch ladies is they come in all different sizes and shapes. Some of them come with warts, some of them don't, but they all are very, very popular and sell very fast. Oh, that thing. That's cool. And that's about it. We've got all of the pumpkins picked over here that we needed. And we got our lunch ladies. Now these things come in all different shapes and sizes. You can see, look how big some of these are. We've got green ones, orange. These are like a whitish color. Really, really neat stuff. Now, I have never seen something sell as fast as these do at our farm market. When people find out their name is Lunch Lady, they just buy them right up. Now, we're not done out here harvesting just yet. We have one more special thing that we need to fill up the front bin. Oh, I got a snake. That's what we came out here looking for, snake gourds. And as you guys can see, these things look really neat. Now, something that's really interesting about these snake gourds is that they can actually be eaten. Although we let them ripen a little too much, when they're younger and tender, a lot of people actually eat them. And it would shock you how many people ask us to harvest them earlier. But we harvest them just for decoration, and as you can see, they look really neat. Watch out, Joel, this one bites. Be careful.
Right in front of you, Andrew.
And just like that, we've got our wagon completely full. We've got lunch ladies, we've got pumpkins, and we've got snakes. What are we growing here? Kale trees. That's a lot of kale.
For those donkeys. Those creeks know that you're doing the right thing. Where you want 'em?
Now, Dad, do you think this is enough snakes?
No, we need more snakes. Cover these 2 bins with that canvas. Do we have room to put another bin under that cap?
Yeah, if you pull it. Would you guys believe me if I would tell you it's starting to drizzle? Yeah, you'd have to believe me because it's raining.
Come on. 3. Oh, can we go for 5?
So recently we've had a lot of new people joining us on the Veggie Boys. The channel's been going off the charts, which brings us a lot of joy. But we always talk about how Joel is going to take care of the horses, and some people still don't believe him. So right now we are down in Joel's horse stable, and we're gonna be seeing the miniature donkeys. Now, Joel, tell him, what is the plan with the miniature donkeys?
We're eventually going to be setting up some breeding for the miniature donkeys, and then we're going to be selling them. So if you want a miniature donkey, come talk to me in about a year.
Buster, Rocky, come on boys, let's go.
They're so obedient.
Oh, we're leaving you, Rocky.
That's right, you better come. Come on, Buster, come on.
So the plan is to actually train these donkeys a little bit. This is something Joel and his mom are working on. They're gonna train these donkeys so that they can walk with a halter, and then people can have them at their houses, pets, or at petting zoos.
Big jump. There's your hay. I'll go get you some water. Y'all can frolic.
For those of you that have been asking about the miniature donkeys, here they are, Rocky and Buster. And this is just the start of something really big for them here at the stable.
And for anyone wondering, no, we're not stopping anything with the horses. This is just an extra side business.
Sadly, I don't have time to show you guys the horses all coming in today, but as you can see, this is where they like to stay. So I'll see you later, Joel.
See you, Andrew.
We're up getting in Dad's truck because we need to head back and pick up some irrigation pipe. Now, I don't know why we're waiting until it's raining to get the irrigation pipe out of the field, but it's just a good time to do it. So one of the biggest reasons why we want to get all this irrigation pipe picked up, even though it's raining, is because we need to get ready for planting wheat. So all this ground needs to be worked up so that we can plant the wheat, and there's just a little strip of stuff out through the middle of the field that we didn't mow yet because there's irrigation pipe. So rather than putting it off and putting it off and putting it off until we need to move it at the last second, we want to get it moved out of the field now. You can see what I mean. We only got this spot out of these fields that isn't mowed, and this is where the pipe is. So it's kind of raining outside. Actually, it's like pouring. And it's really weird because normally I'm the one outside in the rain, but somehow today I ended up with a tractor driving job. These weeds made it very difficult to pull out the pipe. It was pretty difficult to do. Everything's wet and slippery, but we got it taken care of. So now we're getting the irrigation pipe from our earliest batch of cole crops. This is where our first planting of cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower was. Now this pipe needs to be moved out of here because we need to get our cover crop planted for the year. We're gonna be putting rye in here. Rye is a cover crop that we commonly use, so we gotta get this out of here so we can get our cover crops planted. Oh! Now we just had like torrential downpour, got us all wet, and now it's done raining. I cannot stand when that happens. Kale always makes me laugh how it looks after you've harvested it for a while. They look like little palm trees by the end of the year. I think we did it again this year. I think we planted too much kale. See, we started planting kale a few years ago because some people were asking, and we sold so much kale. And we thought to ourselves, this stuff is so easy to harvest, it's so easy to raise. We told our customers, rather than buying so much kale, why don't you plant some? And now we've started selling kale plants every year, and our customers buy a lot of kale plants. Oh, that's probably why we don't sell too much kale anymore. As long as the customers are happy, I guess. Hey, we've sold a lot of kale plants over the past couple years, and everybody that comes in says their plants look really, really nice. I guess that's not a good idea as a vegetable farmer to teach all your customers how to grow their own vegetables. But at least the customers are happy. Hey, do you think we sell less kale now because we told all our customers it's easy to grow kale and now they grow all their own kale?
That's a possibility.
Does that make us bad farmers by teaching all our customers to grow their own food?
It doesn't seem right, does it?
Now, before we head home, we need red bell peppers. So we are out here looking for some red bell peppers. We only need a few just for an order back home. Don't be slipping. There's a lot of mud. You'll slip and fall, and then I'll have to carry you home. As we are going through our peppers and we are picking, we're running into a disease called Phytophthora. Now, Phytophthora is a disease that not only attacks the plants, but it attacks the fruit and vegetables themselves. You can see this pepper was still on the plant, but it has been hit hard by Phytophthora and has started rotting. Now, if we had a longer growing season, this Phytophthora would become a really big problem. But one of the biggest ways for us to fight this is by rotating our crops. Now, if you don't have 400 acres to put your vegetables, something that could work is by adding hydrogen peroxide to the soil. Now, it's only a certain amount. You got to Google it because I don't really know. You'd have to look that up, how to treat it. But we are fortunate that we are able to rotate. The difficult thing is that with a disease like Phytophthora, it was already in the soil before we planted these peppers. Now, for us, it's a little more difficult to treat. But for you guys, that would be one way that you could do it. And fortunately for us, it's not affecting every single pepper. We're just starting to see it from plant to plant every so often. And as we continue making videos and as we continue growing as a channel, you will notice how every single year we don't put stuff back where it was previously. We continuously move our crops from field to field, from one area to another. Now, for example, if we took tomatoes or peppers and planted them in the same soil every single year, year after year after year, that soil would become saturated with the diseases that affect those specific vegetables and fruits. But next year we will come through and we'll plant something completely different here. Maybe something that's not affected by Phytophthora. And then the year after that, we'll plant something here, probably something that's not affected by Phytophthora. And as we continue to go and go, eventually that will be helped to move out of the soil. And as you can see, the vegetables still look really nice. It's just as we continue to have a wet year, that doesn't help with Phytophthora, and it's just getting to the end of the year for us. So our plants are starting to lose their life anyway. And as our plants get older, it becomes much more difficult for them to fight off diseases too. So we have to remember that. It's not that it's something terrible and completely out of our control. Our plants are just starting to get old.
And it is October. Season should be over.
Now, any day now, a freeze could come through where we live and completely wipe out our crops. So we're still happy with what we're getting. Tracy, what's the best thing about working at a farm market full of fruits and vegetables?
When you eat them sometimes for snacks.
Want to see something neat?
Boy, do I.
My wife made some jelly. Some grape jelly.
Grammy helped me.
We just got everything put away in the farm market. Now the farm market's closed up. We're done with work for the day. I don't know if we're gonna get any more rain, but we just have everything still kind of covered up just in case it does rain. Alrighty. Grammy, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, and green beans.
All on the table, ready to go, and it looks delicious. Now, for some of us, it's been a very rough day because someone had to get their shots today. Are you doing all better now?
I don't know about that.
Alrighty guys, so we're all sitting down at the table. We're about to eat dinner, so you know what that means. This is where we're gonna end the video today. We want to thank everyone for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh.